Welcome back, everybody. And you know, I've had my Beavertail Vengeance now for 10 months, and I thought it was time to give you a recap and let you know how I like it, all the good features that it has, and kind of just give you a good walkthrough if you're looking for a skiff. You know, Beavertail's always been my favorite skiff, but the Vengeance is the closest one to my heart because it does what I want it to do. But again, I just wanted to kind of like walk you through it, let you see what it's all about. And you know, I'm sure you heard of the name Beavertail. It's very well known in the skiff market. So let's get started. I just want to show you a little bit about everything. And I tell you what, it's been a great boat so far. The last 10 months, I put it through the paces, and I can't say enough about the things that this boat can do for its size. All right, you know, the first thing I think we need to let's start with the back of my Beavertail, because what drives this whole beautiful skiff is right here. The 115 Yamaha Show. This thing will get you up over 50 miles an hour. Fantastic gas mileage. Although you can run anything from a 60 to 115, which is the maximum on this boat. I'm from the old school. With 115, I can run this thing at 3,200 RPM all day and stay on a plane and just get across the bay or open water in a hurry. And I'm saving on a lot of fuel, especially when you start putting all your tackle, one or two other clients or friends of yours on the boat. So I'm from the old school. 115 for me, I can run at low RPM all day. And then once I get in shallow water, it turns off anyway. I'm not using it anymore. The next thing is you need, and I have Bob's jack plate, 4-inch setback. And what this does is it lets me run to my spots in real shallow water. And then once I'm there, I can raise it all the way up, tilt the engine, and just push-pull my way through the real shallow water. And remember, one thing good about this Beavertail, it can run in 7 inches of water. I mean, I can push-pull this thing all day long in about 7 inches of water, which gets me where I want to go. And where do you say 7 inches? Well, a lot of the places that you want to fish might be 2-3 feet deep, but to get there, you have to go through real shallow water, especially in the winter months. That's where the advantage comes in with my Beavertail. The next thing is I got trim tabs. And with the trim tabs, that is great because, again, you want to balance your load. Sometimes your load might not be balanced exactly like you want it, but the trim tabs will get you always running level, and that helps a lot. Other than that, you don't need it, but I really use it. And then, of course, the other thing is my carbon marine 21-foot push pole. Besides the motor, this is my next best friend right here. I've got 3 best friends on this boat. It's going to be my motor, my push pole, and then my trolling motor. But just like you see it, this gets me to the spot. This will get me to do most of the fishing that I want to do. The trolling motor will get me around. If there's a little deeper water and I need to get there a little quicker, I use the trolling motor. But this one gets me there. This one keeps me in the area and helps me fish real quiet and stealth mode. So I can't be without my carbon marine push pole. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the interior of this boat and the layout on it. All right, now I want to be inside the boat here a little bit and talk to you about right here, the poling platform. Man, you got to have this baby in order to be able to get the push pole done right. So I've got a really nice poling platform. I've got my anchor light in the back. I got my floodlight up here. So if I'm out early in the morning, later at night, I got plenty of light all over the boat to see what I'm doing. And then one of the good things about this boat is it's easy to get to right here. You got plenty of room in the bilge to get to all your pumps, to get everything you want. In this particular case, I'm actually running 2 bait well pumps because I wanted a backup pump in case my regular bait well ever quit. Plus, I got the air bubbler or the power bubbler pump, which gives me plenty of air in case I get into an area that's low on oxygen. So I'm all decked out. Tied from all of that is tied into this beautiful 30-gallon live well. And it's a big oval live well. You've got my 2 pumps. Both of them are adjustable. I can shut one pump off, but when I'm running, I got two flows of water coming in, and then I've got my bubbler sitting on one end right there. And if you notice, all the corners are rounded out so the bait don't get hurt. They'll last you forever. So you can't complain about this. This is fantastic. Plus, you got a clear top so you can always look down and see what kind of condition your bait is in. And this is very important. Plus, look how big the opening is. A lot of other companies make a small opening, and it's kind of tough to get the bait out. Well, this one here, it's easy. Flip the lid back, easy to get to the bait. And then we get to another thing, all about storage. You know, these smaller boats, these skiffs, you don't have a lot of storage. But Beavertail is done right, and here's where they excel. Only a few companies can do this. When you look inside, everything is finished. Everything is gel coated. You don't have any raw fiberglass anywhere. Both sides. On this side, I have the pump for my power pole, which is very important for shallow water anchoring. But look at the finish on it with the shocks. So when you open the lid, it stays open. Good seals all the way around. Very important. There are little details that people don't, sometimes you overlook it. And then you have the backrest. What I like about this is a lot of times it's nice to have a backrest, especially when it gets tough. So it's real easy to do. You just unscrew it and it comes right off. You can store it, and now easy access, go back and forth. But if you have some older people, or you just want to go for a ride, enjoy yourself a little bit, this is the way to go. As you put your backrest on, you're very comfortable. All right, here's another little thing that kind of a cool, really cool feature about the Beavertail is underneath your seating, you have a lot of storage where you can put your tackle boxes, a small cooler, your waterproof box with all your valuables in it. So you're using the bottom of the seat for extra storage. So it's not sitting somewhere in the console or in one of the other storage areas that you might want to put some other valuables in. So that's one good feature. The other thing is they made the console just big enough to do everything you want it to do. In this particular case, if you're looking, I've got a 12-inch Simrad Evo 3S sitting flush mounted, really nice. I got my trim tabs. I got my power pole up and down, my controls, my 2 gauges, and I even got tilt steering, which is really nice because if you're standing up running the boat, sometimes you want the steering wheel way up here. If you're sitting down, you want the steering, adjusted to you. So it's a lot of really neat features that are on this boat. You have 4 rod holders on each side under the gunnels, and they're made up to, you can put all your fly rods, everything in there, because thinking that a lot of the anglers love fly fishing that run these boats, so you want to make sure you have plenty of space to put those big fly rods in, and you can on here. Now, one of the other little things that I did, and this is an option, is if you notice, I've put a grab rail around the console. No windshield, I don't need one. But the grab rail, I tell you, when you're getting in and out of the boat, when you're running pretty fast and it gets rough sometimes, it gives you something really sturdy to hang on to. And to me, it's one of those options that you should have. At least I know that I want it. The other good thing is you got a very comfortable seat for one person sitting right up here. And then on top of that, they can turn this into a live well, but I don't need one because I already got a big live well with 2 pumps. But also it becomes a cooler, insulated cooler. And you can see it's a huge cooler. I mean, you can put all the food for 3 or 4 days in here. So it can be used as a cooler. You can have it done as a live well, and also can be dry storage. So, I mean, there's so many little features about this boat That makes it so neat. All right, one of the other little features that I did to this boat, which is an option, I put a rod holder on each side right here. And it does a couple of things. It's really nice when you're out fishing, you know, if you're fly fishing, or if I'm, you know, mostly all winter long, I'm using nothing but artificials. I like to have some extra rods rigged with some different artificials. So this way, it's right here. I can put one rod there, one rod here. I'm fishing up there. If I need to change, I can grab the other rod, put the other one in here. I got a different jig, or I might want to go to a hard bait, maybe like a mirror lure, or if I'm using saltwater assassin jigs, I want to be able to switch real quick, and I'm not going to be changing from one line to the other. This way, the rods are pre-rigged, one here, one there, and the one that I'm using. Then I also had the extreme decking. It's fantastic on the top. What it does, it helps you no slip. It quiets the hull down. I've got it on the side of the gunnels and up front. It's very comfortable on your feet when you're standing around all day. Had them built in my 40-inch ruler, so it's easy. You know, your average fish, you can put them on there. You can measure it. And then you have your gas cap right here, which goes into your 20-gallon gas can. And one of the features about the Beavertail is most skiffs, you ever have a problem with a gas can, man, you can't get them out. This gas tank is made so you just unbolt it and it will actually come out of this hatch so you can fix it or replace it. Although these tanks, the way they're coated and the way they're finished, they will last you for a lifetime. The other great feature is I got my Abyss battery charger here, which is charging my 12-volt battery under the console and my 24-volt battery for my move trolling motor up in the bow. So I just plug it in, it automatically is going to charge my 24-volt battery and charge my 12-volt battery. And they put my fire extinguisher right there, so it's a place that's handy to get to. And my switch for my trolling motor battery is right next to it, so it's easy to get to, because you don't want to leave the switch on all the time. Although the motor's turned off, it will slowly drain a little bit, so I believe in just throwing the switch, make sure it's all done. Again, everything is real deep, so any water that gets in here, you got a drain on each side, so it's easy to drain. You got your shock absorbers here, and they even put underneath, this is standard, they put their Beavertail non-skid under here. That helps quiet down the hull even more. Now, one of the other features too is a lot of people want to put a little standing platform up in the front, you know, for fly fishing or to get a little height. I prefer to put my Engel 50 quart tall up here because it does two things. It gives me the place to stand like a little polling platform, but I've got all this extra storage right here. Now, what's it good for? Perfect. All three fire extinguishers, all three of my life vests will fit in here, and any other little goodies that I might want to keep dry. It's up in the bow, easy to get to, because I really don't need much more on a skiff. I've got all my tackle back there. I've got everything I need to eat, drink up here. This makes a perfect dry storage area. So this area, I leave it open for clients or friends that I take out fishing. They can put all their gear in here. And then of course, if you follow this up all the way to the front, I got my move trolling motor, which you gotta have it. Once you get to where you're going and you wanna work your way around the islands or some of the areas, you don't wanna be push pulling all day. Trolling motor will get you there once you get to the area that you wanna be in. Then I pull out my trusty carbon marine push pole, and then you can pull your way and be very stealth about it. But this trolling motor will run 3 or 4 days on my Abyss batteries, lithium batteries, no problem. And God, it makes life so much easier because you don't want to be push-pulling from one island to the other. So I can push-pull around an island, around an area, then I might have to run a block or 2 or 3. I don't want to use the outboard motor. Maybe it's too shallow, or it makes too much noise. So I got my trolling motor. So guys, I'm telling you that this is the way to go. And then to really, the cream of the crop, what makes this whole thing possible, perfect, is I got my Loadmaster trailer, which is made for this boat, and it's made to be launched in real shallow water. So you can pull up to a bank, as long as you got about 1.5 feet of water, you can launch this baby in and out with this Loadmaster trailer. So it's great. You don't need a boat ramp. You find your little place that's got a little bit of water in the mangrove somewhere. You know, we all have little spots that we said, gee, this is so much easier if we could launch here. We don't have such a long run. This trailer with this boat, this setup will allow you to do it. So what can I tell you? That after having this boat for 10 months now and using it, I still love my Beavertail. I wouldn't trade it for anything, especially my Vengeance, because it's wide. It's 82 inches wide, 18 foot long. And like I said, with a 7-inch draft, you can't go wrong.